sincere attempt to summarize the 18th juz of the Quran in a calm and gentle story format that is easy to listen to and easy to understand. I ask for patience and grace. The story continues by drawing the heart into reflection about knowledge, humility, patience, and the limits of human understanding. At this stage of the journey, the message gently teaches that faith is not only about knowing answers, but about trusting God when answers are hidden. The story opens with a reminder that everything in the heavens and the earth belongs to God. He is free of all need, and He is fully aware of every detail of creation. People are reminded that life in this world is temporary and that true value lies in faith, good deeds, and sincerity. Wealth, status, and power are described as fleeting, like plants that grow after rain and then fade away. God then introduces a powerful parable. Two men are given gardens. One becomes proud, believing his wealth makes him secure and superior. He doubts accountability and forgets gratitude. The other remains humble and remembers God. Over time, the arrogant man loses what he thought would last forever. The lesson is clear and gentle. Blessings are not guaranteed without gratitude. What matters is not what one owns, but how one remembers God through it. The story shifts toward the nature of guidance. God explains that truth is clear, but acceptance depends on humility. Some people turn away not because they lack proof, but because they refuse to submit. God reminds people that forcing belief has no value. Guidance is a gift that must be chosen freely. The narrative then speaks about patience and trust through a deeply meaningful story. A prophet travels in search of knowledge, knowing that there are lessons he does not yet understand. Along the way, he meets a servant of God who has been given special knowledge. He is told that he will witness actions he may not understand and that patience will be required. As the journey unfolds, events occur that appear troubling and unjust. Each time the prophet struggles to remain silent, each time he is reminded that human understanding is limited. At the end, the hidden wisdom behind each event is revealed. What seemed harmful was actually protection. What seemed unjust was a mercy in disguise. This story teaches one of the most important lessons of the Jews. God's wisdom is often unseen, and patience is required when understanding is delayed. The message then turns toward power and responsibility. A great leader is mentioned, one who traveled across lands and was given strength and authority. Instead of using power for oppression, he used it for justice and protection. He listened to the weak, established fairness, and acknowledged that his success came from God alone. This teaches that power is a trust, not a proof of superiority. The narrative reminds people that corruption spreads when power is misused and that protection of society requires responsibility, humility, and justice. True leadership is shown not through domination but through service and accountability. God then speaks about knowledge. Knowledge without humility leads to arrogance. Knowledge paired with faith leads to wisdom. People are reminded not to claim understanding of what they do not know and not to speak about God without evidence. Silence and humility is better than speech and arrogance. The story speaks about companionship. People are reminded that the company they keep shapes their hearts. Those who remember God bring peace and clarity. Those who mock truth and chase desire pull others toward distraction and loss. Choosing companions wisely is part of faith. The Jews returns again to remembrance. God reminds people that hearts find peace in remembering Him, not in chasing endless desire. Forgetfulness leads to restlessness. Awareness leads to calm. God speaks gently about hope and fear. People are reminded not to despair of God's mercy, but also not to feel secure from accountability. Balance between the two keeps the heart alive and upright. The narrative emphasizes sincerity in deeds. Actions done for recognition fade quickly. Actions done for God endure. Even small, sincere deeds carry weight and meaning. The story then reminds people of the day of return. On that day, wealth and children will not benefit anyone without faith and righteousness. What remains is what was done sincerely for God. The Jews closes with reassurance. God reminds people that guidance is near for those who seek it honestly. Human understanding is limited, but God's knowledge is complete. Trusting Him brings peace even when answers are delayed.